I posted this video on my TikTok page, and you go onto the comment section, it will surprise you what people are saying. Let me just read a few comments from that post. So someone is saying, isn't that what they wanted? Anyway, I'm glad people are finally realizing that migrating to the UK on a whole isn't worth it, especially in the long term. That is what somebody thinks. And someone also said, when people are saying foreigners are taking their jobs. Someone also said, there is a shortage, and it could be because of the way health and social care workers are being treated. Until they stop the overwork, underpaid, and disrespect, it won't get better. So there is a whole lot of comments that people are making. So I found this article on BBC's official website. I'll leave the link to that website in the video description so that you can have a read through and see the figures for yourself. What the BBC is reporting is that there has been a drop in people coming into the UK to work in NHS and social care. So as you may be aware, the previous government tried to put measures in place to cut down on net migration. I did a whole video about that, and they brought about 5-point migration rules that they were going to use to cut down on net migration. Some included, if you are coming as a student, you not be able to bring your dependents, because they realized that a lot of students were bringing in so many dependents. The overall total number of people who were migrating to the UK was really going up. They also said if you are coming as a care worker, you cannot bring your dependent. There is a whole lot. I've done a whole video on that. I'll leave the link to that video as to what they were trying to put, or what they decided to put in place to cut down on overall net migration. So I mean, when you think of all of these measures being put in place and you are still contemplating on coming to the UK, obviously you may begin to think twice. It will obviously divert your attention to even moving to another country, either to work or live permanently, or even to study. So I'll go on the website, I'll just read through the figures with you, show you a graph that they've presented to show a sharp decline in the number of people who are actually migrating to the UK, especially on the health and care visa. So the official statistics that is showing on the BBC website, the official statistics review fewer people are seeking to come from abroad to work in the NHS in social care, and this includes the health and care visas as well. The statistics review that the outgoing government, which is the Conservative government that has recently left, granted some 286,382 work visas overall in the year up to June 2024. That is 11% down on the previous year. Like I mentioned before, this article is saying that the decline in workers wanting to come to the UK comes after the former Conservative government introduced restrictions on foreign workers and their families in the effort to slash overall migration. And so that included you not being able to come to the UK with your dependents as a carer, or you not being able to come with your dependents if you're coming as a student. Some of the rules were those restrictions included a new minimum salary test for both workers and members of their family. The latest figures also show that some 232,000 visas were granted to foreign students to come into the UK in the year ending this year, June 2024, a total that was 13% down in the previous year. And in the first 6 months of 2024, the numbers of related visas granted to members of students and their family has fallen by 81%. They will obviously not want to move to a country, study for like a year or two, and leave their families behind. So as you can see from the figures, the numbers from the first 6 months of 2024, the numbers of such related visas has decreased by 81%, which is a big decline, because some of these students, if they're able to finish their course and then switch from even student visa to tier 2 visa, most of them could get a job in the NHS. So in the first 6 months of 2024, the number of related visas granted to members of a student's family member fell by 81%. So like they said, if you are coming as a student, you will not be able to bring your dependents. So the issuance of dependent visas to people who were coming in as students fell by 81%, which is a drastic reduction, because if these dependents were also going to pick up jobs in the NHS or in the health and social care sector, obviously they are not going to be given the visa, so it will all amount to the overall number of people getting jobs in the NHS or in the social care sector coming down. I'm going to show you a graph on the BBC official website that is showing the graph as to how high it was and then the sharp decline in the number of people being issued the health and care visas, and how that has contributed to the overall reduction in number of people working in the NHS and in the health and care or in the social care sector in general. So as you can see from this graph, you can clearly see the decline in the number of health and care visas being issued. So obviously it will affect the number of people getting jobs in the health and social care sector. So at the end of the day, you ask yourself, I mean, in the long term, what's the impact on the healthcare sector in the UK? So this figures depict the number of work visas issued in previous 12 months. So you can see from this graph that from June 2022, the numbers of health and care visas being issued kept going up until January 2023, and then kept on rising through to June 2023, and it was at its peak even in January 2024 this year. And then in June 2024, they've realized that there has been a decline. So look at how high it was. That was December 2023, just last 145,820. January 2024, it was 145,832,000 health and care visas issued. And now look at June 2024, only 89,000, just a little under 90,000. It's not even up to 100,000. And I can say for sure that by the end of December 2024, the numbers will keep going. So this will definitely overall affect the number of people coming to the UK to work in the NHS or in the social care sector, because if they are not issued the visas, they are not going to come in the first place. If a student is coming to the UK and will not be able to bring their dependents, they may not even think of coming to the UK at all. So this is what's going on. And so my final thoughts, or I don't know what you also think. So let me know what you think. Students not being able to bring their dependent. If you're a student thinking of coming to the UK and you know you'll not be able to bring your dependents, are you still going to consider coming to the UK? Now people are migrating to other countries like Australia, America, Canada, and I mean each and every country have their own rules and restrictions, but from what is going on in UK, it looks like the massive decline in health and care visas being issued is going to keep going on. So gradually we are still going to see a decrease in the number of health and care visas being issued, and this is definitely as a result of all of this 5-point migration rules that was put in place to cut down on net migration. So let me know what you think. If you are thinking of coming to the UK as a student and you will not be able to bring in your dependents, are you still going to go ahead? Or if you are coming in as a care worker and will not be able to bring your dependents, imagine if you're a care worker, you are married, you've got kids, will you be able to leave your spouse? I mean, for how long? So if somebody who is interested in migrating to the UK as a care worker has family, do you think they'll be able to still come to the UK and leave their children behind? I don't know what you think, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And please don't forget to share this video, subscribe to the channel, because on this channel we share information about how you can successfully migrate to the UK. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful, and I hope you pass it on to somebody whom you think will benefit. So I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.